In a quiet little village surrounded by golden fields lived a boy named Rohan. He had everything a boy could wish for: a loving family, simple friends, and a peaceful home. But deep inside, he felt empty. Every day felt the same. Wake up, help in the fields, eat, sleep, repeat. No excitement, no meaning, just routine. One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, Rohan sat by the river and whispered to himself, "Is this what life is meant to be? Just surviving, without knowing why?" He didn't know it then, but the answer to his question was already walking toward him. As Rohan sat lost in thought, an old saint walked by, barefoot, wearing a faded orange robe, a wooden staff in his hand, and peace in his eyes. He stopped and said softly, "Why such sadness in young eyes, my child?" Rohan looked up and replied, "I don't understand life. Everyone says, study hard, earn money, become successful, but what's the purpose behind all that?" The saint smiled gently and said, "Ah, so you seek the meaning of life. Come back here tomorrow morning. I'll show you something that will change how you see everything." Rohan hesitated for a moment but nodded. That night, he couldn't sleep. For the first time, his heart felt awake. The next morning, Rohan ran to the riverbank. The saint was already there, sitting under a banyan tree. In front of him were a clay jar, some large stones, pebbles, sand, and water. The saint smiled. "This jar, my boy, is your life." He placed the big stones into the jar first. "These are your purpose, your family, your faith, your kindness." Then he added small pebbles. "These are your goals, your work, your dreams." Then came the sand, filling every gap. "These," he said, "are the distractions, money, comfort, things that don't last." Finally, he poured water. "And this is everything else that fills your time." Then he looked up and said, "If you fill your life first with the small things, you'll never have space for what truly matters." Rohan sat quietly, staring at the jar. Something inside him shifted. He realized how often he filled his days with things that meant nothing. The saint said gently, "Life is not about how much you have, but what you choose to fill it with." Rohan's eyes filled with tears. The saint pointed to the rising sun and said, "The purpose of life is not to become rich, but to become light, a light that helps others find their way." For the first time, Rohan felt peace, not from what he owned, but from what he understood. From that day on, Rohan changed. He studied not to impress others, but to improve himself. He worked not to earn more, but to serve better. He began teaching poor children under a big tree, just as the saint once taught him. The same village that once saw a lost boy now saw a guiding light. When people asked, "Rohan, what is the purpose of life?" he would smile and say, "To live in a way that your life becomes a lesson for others." The saint was never seen again. Some said he was just a traveler. Others believed he was sent by God. But his words never left Rohan's heart. Years later, Rohan walked that same riverbank, now older, wiser, carrying the saint's old staff. He looked at the rising sun and whispered, "You were right, Master. The purpose of life isn't to have more. It's to become more." The camera slowly pans up to the sky, soft golden light, birds flying home, as the screen fades out with one final line. "Fill your life with what truly matters, and your soul will never feel empty again."